Welcome to the Ben Stortini Show, where stories drift between worlds and forgotten moments find new life. Let's begin our journey. Let's go. And welcome back to the Ben Stortini Show, and I'm your host, as you know, Ben Stortini, but please just call me Ben. How are you today? Me? I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking. So we're back in the city. The week is almost done, and last weekend as I said in the last episode, we made it back to the island for my grandfather's celebration of life. We buried him on his plot on top of the hill on the island just outside of Richards Landing. And man, it was Saturday morning, and it was one of the biggest downpours I've ever seen on the island. It was like, okay, no, we're not going to be able to do this. Calling around family, are we doing this? Are we doing this? Yeah, we're doing this. So we all got up there. We got our umbrellas, and I swear, the moment we got up there, they started the service. You know, the rain gave up. There was no more rain, and it chilled. And maybe just a few drips, a few drops, but we got through the ceremony without a hitch. It was beautiful. It was short and sweet. Yeah, it was nice. We had a little get-together at my grandpa's house with the whole family, both sides came. It was really nice to see everybody. It was good to, talk to some people I haven't spoke to in a while. And shout out to my Uncle Danny, man. Big shout out, actually, to my Uncle Danny. I was just a terror of a nephew to my Uncle Danny. I love him to death. He's of the four brothers. So there's my dad, there's my Uncle Mike, Uncle Mark, rest in peace, and my Uncle Danny. And he's the gay one, man. And I love him to death. He's the youngest. He looks like a little Joe Pesci. He's just short and stout. And man, he quit smoking. I'm so proud of him, man. He used to hack cigarettes like one after another. And he used to wheeze. He was not healthy. And I see him now. He's quit smoking. He's healthy. He's going to the gym. He's jogging again. I'm just like, man, he looks like a whole new person, and I'm just so happy for him, man. Because he was not taking care of himself, and he just looks so good now. And I'm so happy for you, Uncle Danny, and I love you, man. We were talking about old stories when I was just the nephew from hell growing up with him. Like, I'll shoot one story at you. He was a big Crash Test Dummies fan, right? I don't know if you remember Crash Test Dummies, but he used to have these tapes. He used to go for walks at the exact same time every day. This is when I was at my grandpa's, and I found his Crash Test Dummies tape when he was in the shower. And in those days, you remember, you could put pieces of tape, almost holes at the top of the tape, so you could record over that tape, right? So I took his Crash Test Dummies tape, and I recorded over it with like Tupac and like, man, I don't even remember. I think it was just all Tupac. And I put it back in his tape player, his little Sony Walkman, and I knew he was going to go for a walk at like 11 a.m., right? So sure enough, he gets his Walkman, gets his tight little jean shorts. His shorts were like so short that you could see the white pocket. Like, it was, the island wasn't ready for my Uncle Danny, man. He went for his walk. I'm like, all right, so he's going to press play soon. So I'm looking out the window, I'm waiting for it. And then, boom. I see him press play, and he jumps. He jumped out of his jean shorts, man. He just, no. I could see it happen. And he looks back like, I can't believe this. I know it was you, Ben. I know it was you. And he kept walking, though. He kept walking. He toughed it out. He listened to some Tupac. I don't know what album it was. I think it was Me Against the World. And he did his walk to the bridge and back. Oh, man. Love you, Uncle Danny. I'm so happy for you. Quit smoking. You look great. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. You're winning now, man. You're winning. So yeah, it was a nice time. It was a good time to see the whole family, and I came out of it. We had the funeral when he died, and I was just so shook up from that. I did not come back to Toronto feeling good. I was shook after that. I was mourning the grief of it all, the sadness, the depression, just everything, it was not good. But this time around, I don't know, I went for one run while I was there. Otherwise I didn't do anything, and I went for a run, and I ran up the hill. I think it was like 6 kilometers or something like that, to the cemetery. And I just knelt, just had my own little moment with him in the cemetery, and it was beautiful. It was just a nice little moment, just us. and I just felt great. I continued my run, went back to where we were staying, and we went home the next day. And on the ride home, something happened, man. I was just like, I just gotta let all this stuff go. I gotta let the idea of the pain that I have go. I can't keep magnifying and thinking about it all the time on my left side. I'm getting, I'm doing the right steps to get this fixed. So I can't just be always constantly thinking about that. The headaches, I constantly can't be stressing out about headaches. I just gotta let it all go. And I just, there was a moment on the ride home where I closed my eyes and I was breathing. I just said, it's all gone. The headaches, it's all gone. I just kept saying it to myself. The pain, it's all gone. The stress, it's all gone. The anxiety, it's all gone. It's all gone. And I just kept repeating that to myself. And I swear it worked, man. I came back to Toronto with a new perspective. I just feel rebalanced. I feel like I have more control over the situation with myself and my health. I've come to a realization I am getting older now. I'm 45. I'm not in my 30s anymore. I don't heal as quickly as I did before. So I have to revise and win a different way. And that's what I'm doing. And I do feel better. I do. Because it's all gone. It's your decision. I manifested this stress and this anxiety, and it snowballed and snowballed and snowballed, and I let it do that. I did that. It was my choice to stress out like that. It's all of our choices. We have the choice not to manifest this pain and this stress and this anxiety and this constant just beating ourselves up. We have the choice to say all that is gone. It's all gone, and just let it go. And that's what I did. It's obviously a work in progress, but just to tell yourself that, it feels so good. It's like 1,000 pounds off your back, 1,000 pounds off my back, because it's all gone. I created this. Well, I can destroy it too. So, it's time to win, man. So I decided also right after that, I'm going to do a race. I'm going to do a race in November. I'm not sure where, I'm not sure distance, I'm not sure what, but I'm going to do it. I'm just going to sign up for one and just do it. And so we're going to go to France first, and then when we get back, I'm going to get back to serious training, but I'm going to do it right this time. I'm going to recover better. I'm going to go to chiropractors. I'm going to go to massages. I'm going to go to acupuncture, physio. I'm going to do all that stuff so that I keep myself right, instead of just coming home and doing some bullshit stretches like I think I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? We all do that. So I'm not going to do that this time. I'm not going to destroy myself. Be more smart about it. So yeah, that was my weekend, man. I hope yours was good. One more thing. Yeah, it's a little Stello, right? Well, big Stello. We're just about home. We're just outside of Barrie, and we just merged onto the 400. And, so we're only about an hour and a half away from Toronto, right? An hour and a half. It's a big trip to the island. It's like 8 hours. It's crazy, especially with 2 kids. Let me tell you. The moment we merged onto the 400, this guy, I don't know what happened in the 4Runner, but the locks weren't on. He opens the door. The master alarm goes off in the truck. I'm looking at his door's open. I'm like, oh my God, we have to pull over. This kid opens the fucking door on the 400. Thank God he was strapped in correctly. He could have fallen right out. Like, insane, man. So here's a little reminder to all of you with kids in your car when you're driving. Make sure that shit's locked. I don't know what happened, but his door was unlocked. So we had to pull over, close the door, had to scold him a little bit. But he knew he did something wrong too, because he wasn't saying nothing for like 5 minutes. He kind of just looked like this guy, man. Oh, man. It's all gone. It's all gone. I tried to let that one go quick, but it still kind of scares me, the idea of that. Oh, man. So as we were driving back, it reminded me of something, because there's this turnoff where you can go to Toronto or you can go to North Bay, just outside of Sudbury. And for those that don't know, I went to Canadore College in North Bay. It was a great time, great school, old school. I went for TV broadcasting. It was old school rules with that course. Camera work, in front of the camera, editing, studio work, audio work, the old school radio booths, all of that, right? So I went there for 3 years, and it reminded me of a time we went for spring break, man. We all decided, I think it was my third year. Yeah, it was my third year. So it was so I went there in 98. So it was the year 2000, I believe. I was 20 years old. Yeah. I wasn't drinking age in the States yet. I was 20. So year 2000 and 99, 2000, somewhere around there. So we decided, let's go for spring break. So you could get a Greyhound bus ticket for $200. I think it was anywhere. And so we decided this is the only time I ever asked for money from my dad to this day, 45 years. I've never asked for money. But I'm like, I'm going to ask my dad for this shit. So I asked him for $200, and he gave it to me. So he bought my bus ticket, and we decided, let's go to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for spring break. So it was myself, Alex, and this guy, Jeff. So it was the three of us, and we were off to South Carolina spring break. And that was one of the craziest experiences of my life on that bus. One of the craziest experiences, because it was a 22-hour bus ride, something crazy like that. And we just stopped in every single little town in the United States. It was just gun shop, liquor store, gun shop, liquor store, nail shop, gun shop, liquor store, nail shop, and then an Arby's, or whatever they call it, Arby's or something, like a roast beef sandwich. And that was constant every time we went in. And we kept stopping at every single, like, how many roast beef sandwiches can somebody eat? And this whole bus was just smelling like roast beef. I forgot about that. The whole bus just stunk of weed and roast beef. And we're sitting at the back of the bus. And I don't know if this town outside of Baltimore, this roast beef wasn't good, but this is how it started. This one kid looks over the seat, looks at me, and then pukes down the seat. So now it smells like roast beef, weed, and puke. Kids puke. So it was not a good start, right? So we kept going, kept stopping for roast beef and, getting off. I smoked at the time, so get off, smoke a cigarette, get a little bit of food. I don't know. I think we were like 16 hours into the trip. I have no idea where we are. We stopped again, and we get off. And this time around, we get back on the bus, and we go back to our seats. And I look on my seat, and there's this giant fucking knife. This huge knife. Like, not Crocodile Dundee size, but like big. You can't hide this knife type of size, right? So there's this huge knife sitting on my seat. That's odd. What do you do? What do you do in that situation, right? I was so just thinking about drinking and partying. Like, I was such in a party mode. Like, I was just this is when I really partied. Like, people, if you didn't know, around that time, I was very good at partying. So that's all that was on my mind. So when I saw this knife, I just didn't think anything of it. I thought somebody just dropped their knife. So I picked the knife up, didn't even try to fingerprints, all this shit. I just picked up this knife and put it above my seat. So in the compartment above my seat. So I'm like, oh, okay, I just put it there. It's just didn't even try to hide the fact or say anything. I just tucked the knife above my seat. And it's funny, nothing happened. We got to spring break, and nothing ever happened or came about this knife. So a few stops go by, the knife's above me. We're sitting at the back again, still smells like puke and roast beef and weed, because obviously somebody is transporting weed across state lines. Like, somebody's got a few pounds sitting somewhere in here, but nobody really cares. So we stop, and we're picking up some stragglers in some town, and this guy comes back, this older gentleman. He must have been in his late 60s, looking pretty rough, in one of these country ass towns too, right? So it was again, gun store, liquor store, nail shop, Harvey's, whatever it was called. He comes and sits down beside me. He's trying to get to know me. He's just smelling like dark liquor, like he's just stanking like liquor, right? He's been drinking for years straight, and he's just yapping about nothing to me. He's just talking about America and guns and this and that and freedom, and it's all just flip-flopping, and how he loves to drink in the summer more than winter, and what kind of winters do we have? Do I drink in winter? And it's just his idea of drinking in seasons was just, I didn't get it. But somehow he had some relation between certain liquor for winter. I don't know. It was a weird conversation. But then it flipped real quick, and he looks at me and he goes, "Can I ask you a question?" I'm like, "What is it?" He goes, "You want to know how to bury a dead body in your yard?" I was like, "What?" He goes, "Do you want to know how to bury a dead body in your yard?" That's what I just said. I was like, "Not really." Like, do you have something to do with this knife that I have above my seat? And then he's like, "Okay, well, whatever." Next stop, he just gets off. So this is still the same trip. $200 I paid for this shit. So this is still the same trip, and we're not even there yet. So again, I think it was about 22 hours. We're maybe about 20, we're about maybe 2 hours away, hour and a half away. But at this point, our bus driver actually comes over the intercom and says, he's actually lost. He goes, I was going to give you a little bit of an update of time when we're going to get to Myrtle Beach, but he actually admits we're lost. And it was a Sunday. So he says over the intercom, he says, "Well, what we're going to do, we're going to do a little church. And we're going to see if the good Lord can show me the path to Myrtle Beach, because we're a little lost right now." So he actually does church over the intercom for the entire bus, which was kind of cool because I've never seen that before, right? So he's doing his little sermon, and he's asking the good Lord if he can show him the way out of his lost path towards South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, so that he can get these fine folks to their spring break. It's funny now, I think he was making this up. Now I think about it now, I think this was all a joke so he could do church. I don't know. Either way, the good Lord did give him the correct path to get there, and we found our way. So 22 hours later, we pull into the Greyhound bus station in Myrtle Beach after, a little schooling on how to bury dead bodies, knives in my seat, puke, can't sleep, kids kicking seats, no room. It was wild, man. But, we had a great time on spring break. So thank you, Greyhound Bus, for that experience. And for I don't even know if they have Greyhound buses anymore. I don't even know. But if you haven't done it before, you know what? Fuck it. Go do it. Go take a big road trip on a Greyhound and see how that changes your life. On that note, this bus is pulling in, and we're going to have to switch some worlds right now. So let's go. I want to give a shout out to my mom's side of the family, the Ten Hagans, who I saw this past weekend. My auntie Linda, my uncle Max, my cousins, Matt, Nigel, Luke, all of you. I love you all to death. And it's funny, every time I see you, my heart just fills up, because it's always been, it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. And my auntie Linda, mentioned the show because she listens to it, and she gets it. I could just see it in her eyes. She gets it. She gets why I'm doing it, and I thought that was really cool, and I love you for that, and I love you anyways, but thank you for that. It meant a lot. So shout out to the 10 Hagans, man. I love you all. Okay, we are back, and this is another edition of the Storytime-verse. And this week, what we're going to do, I wasn't sure who I was going to do for music, but it popped off here. Growing up, we'll go back to the island. Columbia House sent me... No, you know what? Columbia House didn't send me this. I bought this across in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. We used to go across to Michigan to get our music that wasn't being distributed in Sault Ste. Marie, Canada. Like, you couldn't get any No Limit stuff in Canada, or in Sault Ste. Marie, Canada. If I wanted any No Limit stuff, I had to go across the river to Michigan. 3-6 Mafia, World Domination album with Tear the Club Up was definitely not in Canada, and so I had to go across the river to go get that one. So I was a 3-6 Mafia fan. I used to listen to 3-6 Mafia. I still do from time to time. But there's a group, they're called Seed of Six. Lord Infamous was rest in peace, was part of 3-6 Mafia. Rest in peace. His son, Lil Infamous, is part of this group, and a guy named Loco Dunnett, who is DJ Paul. DJ Paul's, I guess, brother's son, so his nephew. So these are all just family members who, are much younger and who made a group called C to Six. And it's got the same old school vibe, man. So I wanted to play you some. So C to Six. And this song right here. Oh. Maybe 3-6 Mafia fans can hear it. Man, C to Six, that song right there is called Only Thing. This one right here, listen to the start of this one.
Play me some Memphis, man. I bet. And I got the MVC ready. Let's go. Hey, that shit right there hitting. Don't come around me acting gangster, you ain't already that. Don't come around us saying that, oh, we already crack. Don't come around me acting police.
I just heard this today.
Don't come around me if you ain't my round, nigga, yeah.
And then this is the other one up. It's funny too. I used to listen. I knew of C to Six way before this. This was like way back, 2014, when I lived we lived at the condo. And there was another member of the group I was trying to remember before I did the show today. It was a little infamous, Loco Done It, and another dude. And this is when I was on Instagram way long time ago. And I actually used to correspond with this kid who was part of the group originally. I can't remember his name, and I feel terrible for that. But I remember saying, "You keep going, man, keep going. You got a great sound." And he was very appreciative of that. And we'd flip each other music from time to time, and that was that. But I don't know if he's in the group anymore. But anyways, C to Six, check him out. SEED of six spelled with a 6IX. C to Six. Yeah. And the documentary for this week is going to be about, I watched that documentary on Titan, the Ocean Gate, I believe. So the Titanic submarine. Remember that? The one that went down and never came back up, and all the passengers died in this submarine because it exploded underwater. Go watch this documentary and don't tell me you're going to be mad at what greed does. I came out and I'm like, this is just absolutely disgusting. And how do we let shit like this happen? Like this guy, the CEO of this company, just was given warnings after warning after warning that this shit's not going to work and one day it's going to explode. So you should probably stop using this submarine. And he outfitted this submarine. Most submarines are outfitted with steel, to keep it safe for the water pressure. But this guy puts it in carbon fiber. First one to ever do it. That's cool that you have a new idea, but it wasn't working. Every time they go under this shit, he'd hear these pops and these cracks. That's because the carbon fiber is breaking. So he kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And basically every time he went down, it was like a death wish. Like he's probably not going to make it back up. And sure enough, the last voyage this thing had going down to see Titanic, that was it. This is your last dance. It was his fault, man. Rest in peace to all the people that were down there who were on that ride. But this was just a terrible, terrible, sad story of how greed can literally kill. Go watch that. I think it's called Titan, Ocean Gate Story, the submarine, blah, blah, blah. It's on Netflix. Go watch it. I would never go down in a submarine anyways. Like, that's some crazy rich shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't necessarily need to go down. I'll stay up here. But for people that maybe are thinking about going down in a submarine, just watch this and just be smart about it. And the last thing is the challenge. I wasn't sure where I was going to go with this one this week, but where I'm going to go is here. I want you to push yourself out of your comfort zone this week or this weekend. Push yourself out of your comfort zone. We're all in our own routines and our own comfort zones. And, we don't like to, a lot of us don't like to step outside of that. I think we should step outside of our comfort zone, step out of our routine for a moment and just really recognize where we're at. Meaning, look at what we have. Last night it was my wife's birthday, and we went out for dinner at this Ethiopian spot on Danforth called La Vegan. It's our spot for Ethiopian food. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. And, you know, just being out, having dinner, you know, even though it's difficult with the Stello in a public place, because it's hard, you know, when you've got a rhinoceros who's unchained, you know, being let out into the public, running through walls and jumping all over the place, right? I had to pull him aside a few times and look him in the eyes like, this is your last chance, boy. This right here is your last chance. You want to go home? Tell me. Test me. You know, that type of conversation. But my point is, step out of your comfort zone, man. So say you go for jogs and you've only been running 4 to 5 kilometers. Do a little bit more. Go a little bit faster. If you never seem to go to this spot to eat this type of food because you see maybe some Ethiopian food, you think maybe it's not going to be good, step out of your comfort zone. Go try it. Maybe you're going to love it. I don't know. But try something new. Try something new this weekend, whether it's food, whether it's an activity. Step out, change it up, change the game for a moment, and give yourself a new piece of ammo on your belt that you can move forth with, if that makes any sense. So yeah, music this week, C to 6, documentary, Titan Ocean Gate Submarine, it's on Netflix, and challenge. Step out of your comfort zone and try something new this weekend. So yeah, that's the end of the episode, man. I want to thank everybody for tuning in once again. It really does mean a lot. I just want to thank every single one of you. Man, it feels so good knowing, you know, I think I can't remember who I was having this conversation with. Dave. I think it was with Dave. It was like, even if I only had, say, like 12 to 13 people listening to this per week, I honestly wouldn't care. Because those 12 to 13 people that are listening to this, maybe they're going to take something out of it and it's going to help. It's going to change something in them. It's going to, because that's the point of this whole thing. You know, tell some stories, share some laughs, go over the reality of life, things that happen day to day that we all go through, and kind of just meet up on a Friday together. If I can't meet up with you because you live here, or blah, blah, blah. You know, this is that time. So thank you. Sincerely, from my heart, thank you to those that are listening. It means a lot. On that note, enjoy your weekend. Be safe and jump out of that comfort zone. All right? Let's go. Thank you for listening or watching this episode. As I just said, it does mean a lot, genuinely. And remember, new episodes come out every single Friday. So please hit subscribe wherever you're catching this pod. The reason I'm asking you to hit subscribe is because I want this to get out there to more people who maybe could use a help or two. That makes no sense. Use a help or two. I gotta rewrite this shit. Have a good weekend, and don't forget,